Hey, it's Richie and Wes.
He's Richie.
And he's Wes.
And this is our show.
Let's go.
Ooh, what a
Another week and
What a day.
lots of sun, but plenty of shade on the show. Jesus.
Yes, that's what we do. If you're new here, we go through our social media feed and talk shit about everyone.
Oh, yes. And I got some podcast drama to report upon.
What?
I have a WeHo exclusive to report upon.
What?
Oh, yes. I'm giving you some tea this week.
Let's hear it.
All right. So,
Drop right in. Let's
let's
go.
drop right in. Let's get into the podcast drama. We'd never have drama on this podcast, mind you.
No.
We don't. Can't be said about my frenemy, Heather McDonald.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So Heather has a reoccurring guest named Justin Martindale. He's a popular gay comedian. I actually met him way back in the day before he was actually, like, fully in the comedy scene. Because my friend was a reality TV producer, and we went to, like, a pool party, and he was there, and we were, like, geeking, getting drunk or whatever. Very nice guy. Very witty, very funny. For the first time in my life, I'm saying Team Justin on this, because, you know, I'm the other Justin, whose last name I will not speak on this show. I'm never on his team. So, you know, I'm a juicy scooper.
Yeah.
I might be canceling my subscription because she's getting insufferable. I used to go to her because it was a funny take on pop culture.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and I just tweeted about this actually, not regarding her, but like I love seeing people when they start something and then seeing them grow. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I follow this Twitter guy who's like a recording artist, and he's gotten to the point where he's like opening up for large acts now, and he's about to go on his own little mini tour, and I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And he's always stayed the same person. There are a couple of YouTubers that I started watching over COVID that had like 100 subscribers, and now they have like 200,000 subscribers. And almost all of them I've unsubscribed to because there's just been a shift in when they got popular.
When they got important.
Exactly. And at that point, I just unsubscribed, so you don't pop up on my feed anymore. Well, Heather's about to be on that list. So, she and Justin were friends for like 10 years now. She met him at a party, I guess, and they had like a mutual friend, and she thought he was really funny, and so she started inviting him to go on tour with her when she would tour with her comedy act. And he's been her like opening act and yada yada yada, and he does his own stuff. He's like a regular at the Comedy Store who's paid there, blah 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 blah. So his star has like risen, which is great, and they've been genuine friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I noticed the chemistry was kind of off the last few months when he would guest star, because he's there like once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 times a month sometimes. And I'm like, something seems odd about, like, he just seemed annoyed with her. And I was visibly annoyed, like, in my bed watching, because I was like, oh God, she's getting so annoying and insufferable. Well, he broke it down on his podcast. Because something happened this weekend. So he dialed it back to March. He said it was his birthday. He and his boyfriend had a trip to go, I think, to New York. He had all these things planned, and he just had a shitty day. Like, flights delayed, like, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. They had tickets to a play, and because of the flight, they couldn't make it to the play, and this all on his birthday. She calls him, never once said happy birthday, and just starts word vomiting and woe is meing to him over the phone for an hour and a half about some issue she's having with some bitch named Megan. And he's like, I don't know this girl. I've met her a couple of times. Like, and he's like,
even go here.
And he's just trying to be like a good friend and console her, you know. But he's like, well, that seems kind of shitty, you know, like you can't even say happy birthday. Like, you just take up my entire time after I've already had a long day of traveling and nothing's gone wrong on my birthday. Like, not what you do as a friend.
Yeah.
It's just not. So then they were at a party a couple of months later, and there was like Jeff Lewis. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. I guess like a little bit before that happened, he met Jeff Lewis from Flipping Out. Jeff Lewis has a really popular podcast on Sirius, and they were getting along at this party. And Jeff said, you know, I'd really love for you to come on my show, but I can't. And he's like, why can't you? Like, you've had plenty of people like on your show. Like, you know, like why, like, I'm pretty well known in the comedy world. You know, I know I'm not like some big and famous rich, you know, celebrity, but like I'm established. And he's like, well, I have to get everything cleared through Heather. And she said no. And he's like, I'm sorry, excuse me?
Wait, why?
And that's it, yes.
Why is he clearing things through Heather?
Well,
anyway?
Heather and Jeff are very close.
Right.
Yes. So
he was just asking her.
Exactly.
Kind of.
And she said no. I don't know if she wanted him just to be exclusive to her show or what it was, or if maybe his star is rising brighter than hers and she was jealous, but she blocked him from that. Could you imagine if there was some huge opportunity to pitch your script or something, and you found out that I said no and blocked you from that opportunity? That's bullshit.
Total bullshit, but I'm still stuck on the fact that he went to her first. Like, if Justin has his own team, his own career, his own whatever, those are the people that you contact.
Yeah, I just think that he, out of courtesy with him being so close to Heather, that he was just like, hey, I'd really like to have this guy on my show. And she was like, yeah, no. And he didn't want to go behind her back and still book him anyways to preserve the friendship. So then, he said that was like when things started getting weird, and then he said his last episode on the show, which was like a month and a half ago, he just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Because, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm backtracking a little bit. So a few weeks prior to that, they were all at a party, and there was a girl that was like, I guess, friendly with the group, and I guess the girl put Heather on the spot and was like, hey, why don't you pay your regular, like, guest host? Because Jeff, like, flies out his guest host. He pays them like $500 each time that they're on there.
She's not even paying him?
No! And he was like, look, I have my own podcast, and yeah, I don't pay like my guests, but I don't have regular guests.
Yeah.
She has like 4 or 5 people who are reoccurring guests, me included, And she got very offended, but then I guess she started paying like her guests something, because he's like, I live in Hollywood, and she records in like in Woodland Hills, so it's always it's a far drive. There's like no compensation for anything, but I've never complained about it, And she's like, well, it's exposure because my podcast is so big, blah 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 blah. And she's like, well, Jeff's podcast is bigger than yours, and he pays his people. And Justin was like, it made sense because Heather just bought a brand new house. She has a house in La Quinta, and she just bought a brand new car. And it's like, she's in the position where there's like 5 or 6 of us that are regular people. She could pay us a couple $100. She's getting that in YouTube revenue anyways.
Yeah.
So, I guess she just started paying them, but he still just wasn't feeling it, understandably so.
Yeah. And that's like a little too late. In that scenario.
Yeah.
Plus, someone else had to bring it up?
Right? Why wouldn't you just do that as a courtesy to your friends anyways?
By the way, if you come on this show, we are not paying you.
We will pay you in wine. We pay you in wine!
You get to zoom in and watch us drink wine, is what we mean.
I'm so done with you. So then, he was saying that he just noticing her being more and more just narcissistic and very self-involved. And he was doing this fundraiser for trans rights, for like to protect the trans, men and women, prevent murders and all of that. And he said he got like Lance Bass and a bunch of like big people to one, donate, and 2, even if they couldn't donate, they would record just a short video so they could show it at the award show.
Yeah.
Or the fundraiser. He asked her, hey, like, can you just record, like, a quick video, for this really, really good cause? Like, a bunch of other people have already done it, and I'm a regular on your show. I think that it would be, like, really, like, good, and it's something that I really care about. I think is really important in the community. And he's like, and her as an ally, I would think she would say, oh, absolutely. So, do a 10-second video. That takes literally 10 fucking seconds. He's not asking you to fucking record a goddamn movie. And she said no, without hesitation. And he's like, what, huh? Like, what, why? And he's like, well, I just don't want to upset my fans, And it's like, your fans are mostly gay, bitch.
With what? What is she going to offend them with?
You're not Joe Rogan, which, mind you, Justin's been on Joe Rogan's podcast before. He's like, she's not fucking Joe Rogan or, someone that, like, has this whole political... You fucking do pop culture, most of it gay-centered. You can't make a 10-second fucking video for this cause that I care about? And my community? Bullshit.
I mean, someone turning down really easy charity work, first of all, always gets on my fucking nerves, because what did she really have to do?
A 10-second video on his cell phone.
Let him record her right then and there. The end.
Yep.
Right, it's done. Ooh, that really gets under my skin. Do you know what that made me remember, though? I just had this flashback.
Oh my god, did I trigger you?
Yes, because the opposite of which... Do y'all remember that show, True Blood?
Mm-hmm.
The vampire show.
Yes.
Very popular. Yes. And one of the fan favorite characters was the vampire Pam.
Yes.
Played by Kristen Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember doing an interview with Kristen, and one of the things that she kind of did, which I actually love this approach, is that we could interview her as long as we talked about and featured a link to the charity that she was working with, which was like Tales for Whales or Whale Tale or something about the whales. She's trying to save the whales.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, obviously it's going to go on the web, so we're going to put a link to this charity site, of course. And let me tell you, that interview with her led to me interviewing almost every single person on that show. And every single one of them mentioned her charity and how they were involved because of her.
Thank you.
Every single one.
And how hard was that to do?
And that's like Anna Paquin and shit.
Yeah. How hard was that to do? And she's getting asked to record a 10-second fucking video on an iPhone. Yes, so then...
Girl.
That was the second to the last show. The very last show, the vibes are all off.
There's more.
Yes, and he said that normally, like, she'll text him or her assistant will text him. Oh, and she even said that her assistant at the time, like, they both looked at each other like, what? Like, she just said no to this? Like, the fuck is this? So, his last show, he said that normally she'll text him, like, a rundown of the topics. You know, then they'll meet up and they'll be like, oh, you know, because she'll be like, oh, have you been watching the show? Like, I'd like to talk about that. And if he hasn't, then they'll exit, you know. And then they'll go to something that they both know about, they can both, you know, have insight about.
Yeah.
He said that his last show there, before now we all know that he is deciding not to come back, that she didn't text him anything at all. So he shows up unprepared. And she doesn't talk about anything political at all on her show. At all. We talk about more politics on here, and that's like 2% of our show for the year.
Right.
And
we haven't even mentioned any indictments. Like,
yes, she brought up this movie that's about like that he's never even heard of. He's like, well, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's about like child like trafficking or whatever. And he made like a silly joke, like, oh, it's time for summer, like child trafficking. Like that was the joke that he like made just off the cuff because he didn't know what else to say. Like it's a comedic podcast, you know, like, and he was getting flooded with comments from her fans saying, faggot, go kill yourself, blah, 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 calling him a groomer, a pedophile. And then he got a screenshot from a friend showing that Heather was liking all of the negative comments. Yes.
What?
Oh, yes. So he's like, what is this? And sends her a text. And she's like, oh, like, I like all the comments because, like, it makes it seem like I have more engagement with, like, you know, with my fans. He's like, you haven't liked anything that was said nice about me. You've liked every single one of the death threats, of the defamatory ones, but nothing nice. You like nice things about you, but anything involving me that was nicely said, you didn't like. You liked all of the negative shit. That's bullshit. Like, I thought we were friends. And I guess the end of that show, because she has to be so involved in everything, he said, she's like, oh, so what are you doing after the show? And he's like, oh, me and Krista, my friend, are taking her daughter to Disneyland, like, right after this. She's like, oh, wow, you didn't tell me about that. Like, we're like not invited. And he's like, bitch, it's my friend's 11-year-old daughter. It's the first hot day of the summer. And she wanted to take her to Disneyland and asked me if I wanted to go. Like, you weren't disinvited. It just wasn't about you. So he laid all this out on the very last 10 minutes of his podcast. Because she addressed it last week, but put it under a paywall on her Patreon. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
So you're making your fans pay to hear whatever your side of this story is.
What is up her coos? Like
her own fucking ass, apparently.
What the fuck? This would never happen to us. Because first of all, we've said from day one, we're ready to sell out. Cut us a check.
Exactly.
Neither one of us is going to hold on to any old shit. No. Second of all, we've always been super supportive of each other. And I think, haven't you appeared on other shows without me?
And you have too!
Yes.
We don't care.
It's still part of our brand.
Exactly. And we're always going to mention our podcast and each other. She's gotten to that point of success where she has enough money to where people are dispensable, is what it seems like. Mm-hmm. And it's showing.
But see, that's going to crash and burn.
Uh-huh.
Because that's how you lose people's loyalty.
Oh, people are already flooding her with the comments. I went back to his last episode, and there were like recent comments, because that's like a month and a half ago, but there were recent ones being like, Team Justin, oh my god, Heather's so insufferable.
I don't get what it is about money and fame that shrinks your brain. Because when you're coming up, and you know someone like Heather has, especially as a comedian, as a female comedian, someone she has paid her dues, and respect
100%.
For her podcast. I think it has over like 100 million downloads. Like, she's doing amazing.
Yeah,
but that's a lot of work, and as you're coming up, you need people to help pull you up.
Yes,
and then it's your fucking job when you come up to bring everybody else with you.
Yes.
Oh, that's some small brain shit right there.
Right?
It really is. That really
just a mess.
So infuriating.
So yeah.
Wow.
I'm waiting to hear.
What about me?
I'm waiting for this Friday, because she said you'll hear the truth this Friday. Blah blah blah. And Justin screenshot and put it in his story. He's like, I've already told the truth, bitch, without a paywall. So I'm waiting, and then I'm just gonna unsubscribe because she's getting my fucking nerves anyways. It's like, and it has been for a while.
You do not want to start a war with a gay man.
You don't. I mean, I've already, if you're just tuning in, I call her a frenemy because I did like her until
she clapped back at you online
for calling her out, because she used this poor woman's death as a headline and then got all of the facts incorrect. And all I said in the comments was, I think if you're going to use someone's, murder as a headline, then at least pay respect to the person who suffered this horrific event and their family, and at least do your research and get the facts straight. And her reply was, I don't have to explain to you how I do research for my show.
Well, obviously you don't.
You don't.
First of all.
We do more research. We may not pronounce anyone's names correctly half the time, but damn it, the facts are there.
We don't research how to pronounce your name. Yeah, it's just like the clickbaity aspect too really bothers me. And that's something that I tried to always round out when I was doing entertainment news was, you gotta have that headline, you gotta run.
You gotta get something to grab someone.
You gotta use that pull quote because that's the one, that's the craziest one. But then you get to fill that in with context and try to round it out.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's how
You don't just glance at a story about some woman getting murdered and then use that as a headline and then get all the facts incorrect. And then she's constantly misgendering people. I'm just like, ugh. She's after this Friday, when I see this episode where she says what the fuck her side of the story is, then I'm unsubscribing because she's annoying. And so it's her fucking intro song. It's obnoxious.
Wow. Heather, we are rescinding our invite to come on the show.
Justin! However, come on whenever, please.
Zoom in. Let's do it. Wow, that's fucking
I'm usually not this long-winded, but there were layers to that, and it was good juice. So
that is good because it I think on every level, one, like being successful and all that stuff, but also just like in your own personal life. Like, haven't you had people who, I see this in LA all the time. All the time, people first move to LA and they're a little timid and they're fresh off the boat and whatever. And then as soon as they start crushing it at the gym and get a cute haircut and a fake tan,
right?
Oh,
they can't be stopped.
King
of the world, they are.
Talk about insufferable. Wow. Wow, I've seen that happen. And then all the people that helped them figure out LA and whatever, they totally
completely
abandon them for better people.
Mm-hmm. Which means whoever they can take the best fucking selfie with.
Whoever they think is gonna, exactly. Whoever they think is gonna do more for them, or is, Yeah,
child, the drama.
Wow. Well, speaking of drama, okay, I don't actually know any details of this whatsoever. Oh, God. But did Miley Cyrus join a cult?
Wait, what?
Oh, you haven't heard this?
No.
Oh, my God. So, there's a whole... there's a whole, like...
But I do have Miley news after that. See how we seamlessly segue?
Totally. So there's this whole thing someone posted a TikTok video, which I guess is the new YouTube for conspiracies.
Of course.
Only now they have to shrink it down to 3 minutes instead of like a 2-hour-long video where they basically brainwash you into thinking they're correct about what they're talking about. People are just now very easily persuadable, apparently. But Miley has met someone, a couple of people who encouraged her to kind of join this group, this cult, basically. And that's kind of what they're saying is the reason that she has been so MIA lately. No performances, public appearances, promotion for the album, aside from the Disney Plus special that was back in March, whatever. And that clearly her social media has gone from her running it to a assistant running it, and someone's posting on her behalf.
Oh, Lordy.
She's kind of in with these people. She took a picture with this Blue, in quotes, and Lily Ashwell, also in quotes, because who knows if that's their actual names.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone who used to go by Blue. I wonder if it's the same person. Oh my God, am I in a cult? So, apparently she's been hanging out with them.
You need more than just me to have a cult request.
I don't have enough friends to be a cult. But apparently she's been hanging out with them and seen with them, taking pictures with them, and has somewhat distanced herself from her public appearances and her social media and all that stuff. So now, according to TikTok theorists, she's in a cult.
Oh, God. Well, I've been getting into it with Twitter assholes regarding what's child abuse and what's not, because she recently just did an interview where she found her schedule at 12 or 13 years old. You see that?
I saw this.
If you haven't, I'm going to play the audio for you guys. It's only a minute long, and there's no music, so we won't get flagged down.
I hope not.
We won't, please. It's not fucking that Renner man. All right, so listen to this, y'all.
Oh, okay. 12 or 13. Friday, January 5th, 5:30 a.m. Hair and makeup in my hotel. 7 a.m. we get picked up. 7:15, I'm on the news. 7:45, I have another live interview. 8:15, another interview. 8:45, another interview. 9:30 to 11 a.m. meeting with editors. Back to the hotel. Okay, I have to do an interview, but the reporters are all 5th grade students. 1 to 2:30, me and my dad have a lunch interview. 2:40, we have to go to the Life magazine photo shoot. 3 to 5, interview and photo shoot for the Father's Day issue. Arrive at 6 p.m. for Kids Online interview. Then at 6:15, we have another interview. Then the next day starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 7:30 p.m. when I fly home to probably go to Hannah. That's on a Saturday. And then Monday, be back at work in the morning. I'm a lot of things, but lazy ain't one of them.
That truly was the next 4 years of your life.
Yeah. So, I do think this girl deserves a little endless summer vacation.
Me too, honey.
I'm like, that's insane.
I saw that.
I was like,
her
okay,
running
this
that
is
down.
crazy.
Mhm. And talking about
At
all that, which
12
obviously
and
for a
13 years
press
old?
day, you're
Woof.
going to want to try to get it all in at once.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But being up and ready for someone at 5:30
When you're 12 or 13 years
means
old.
that you are either they're dragging your ass out of bed at 5:30, or probably you've been up since like 3 or 4. And because nowhere in that
And that's,
list,
mind you, that's on a weekend when she should be off.
nowhere,
So you still have
nowhere
to go
in
back
that list,
and record.
I did not hear her say break for lunch.
No.
I did not
Lunch,
hear her
lunch
talk
interview.
about- yeah, lunch interview. So I guess maybe that's what they got
For
to
30
eat.
minutes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So people are like, well, you have to grind hard. I'm all, she was 12. Someone else was like, you don't hear about people bitching about 12 and 13 hours. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you
I
do.
hear about it all the time. And also, they're adults.
Right.
This is a child. That is an insane schedule, one, for anyone, entertainment or not. But also, two, for a child, that's crazy. Insane.
It's wild that, like, when you go through that list, it's like, oh, we get picked up at 7, and then there's an interview at 7:15. Like, what? Okay, that's cutting it very close for
Everything
me.
is like 15
My
to 20 minute increments.
anxiety would be
Right?
through the fucking roof, because wherever you land, you're out the car, you're out the door,
Yep.
you're in the studio, and you're doing a fucking interview. That means you don't get any time to even think about where you are. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
I guess I'm one of those people or you're one of those rare people who I actually like to show up kind of early.
Yeah.
Because I want to settle my mind down.
Mm.
I hate rushing in last minute, 2 minutes late,
Yeah.
not knowing where I'm at, not knowing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine what it must be like for, a 12, 13-year-old to just be rushed from place to place, be expected just to be totally on.
Yeah.
I also love how when she talked about the kids, she did not sound excited.
Not at all.
She's like, I get to be interviewed by 5th graders. That would be annoying.
Like,
That would be very annoying.
oh my, that's insane
It
to me.
is, and like I said, I get it for a press day. You're trying to get all the things all at once. I think she even mentioned there was like a Father's Day photo shoot. That's probably a month or two ahead of time. Like, they're trying to get it all in.
Yeah.
So when she goes to film, she can just like film the show or whatever. But yeah, that's a
That is
brutal
a
press day.
treacherous schedule. Like, Jesus Christ. Might be Brittany. In one of her, like, documentaries, she was like, oh yeah, so I have to like be here in New York, and then like 2 hours later I have to go to London, and then I have to do this, and then I have to fly to France, and then I have to go over to LA, and then I have to record this music video, and then I have to go do these things for this guy. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. No, and I feel like we get to see the finished product.
Yeah.
But you're not always
And things in
recognizing-
pieces.
Yes, but you're not always recognizing what went in to make that happen. And it
Mhm.
makes sense rather than piece it out over 3
Yeah.
months. I mean, of course, just get it all in, like when you go to New York, you're going to go to New York, you're going to do XYZ
Yeah.
shows, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, because you're in New York, you're going to do it all at once. And then you're flying somewhere else. It makes sense. You can't go back and forth
Yeah.
to New York every 2
Yeah.
days or fucking whatever. But the
Oof.
intensity
Yes.
of that grind, and
Is-
it absolutely is child abuse.
Yes,
it
that's
absolutely
a
is.
12-hour day of working
That's
for a
working
child?
way more than a child is supposed to be
Yes.
working. Way more.
That's insane.
I don't really even think adults should be working like that.
No,
I really don't. It grinds your body down.
it does.
Your mental health, your ability to think.
and you
you
just
know-
become a robot.
Exactly. And again, I'm going to bring up food again, because if you're not getting the right food, you're not fueling your body, you're running on
Mhm.
nothing, that's going to make it so much worse. It's going to compound everything.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
Whew.
No.
Child.
One of the things we would always say at Entertainment Tonight was like, we had talent. It was
Yeah.
obviously they got paid a lot, and it's a very glamorous job, whatever, but many days many days we were like, I would not trade it for the
Mm-hmm.
world because
It's a lot of
I can
goddamn
slink
work.
away behind my computer,
Mm-hmm.
put on a hat. You know what I mean? I can
Yes.
kind of hide myself away from the world and just work on my shit and write some scripts or whatever versus having to be front facing.
Yes, on and on camera.
On.
Like,
You gotta be on.
Yes.
Like, because that might be it.
Yep.
You're on a red carpet,
Right.
you've got 90 seconds.
Woof.
Yeah, that's too much.
Well, you know who has 90 minutes left? Actually, it's a little bit longer. It's midnight tonight. Is my dear friend Marcia, who's a bartender at St. Felix. So I see her once a week. I bring her food. We chit-chat about things. She's an amazing woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's like early 50s, Asian lesbian, super cute, like just the sweetest person you'll ever meet. Well, last week in one of our little weekly chit-chat sessions, she was like, do you have a second? I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's all, have you heard the rumors about this place? And I'm like, no, what do you mean?
I have.
And she's like, well, there are rumors that my regular told me that Adam Lambert's going to buy this place. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like, I haven't heard anything personally, but I mean, she's like, I've heard it from a few people. She's like, and I'm concerned because, like, I like it here. So I came here because it's so low-key and it's, like, loungy and it's not some big nightclub situation with go-go dancers and blah, 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 blah.
The add-on to that is that they're moving it to a new location that's going to be significantly bigger.
Is that what they're doing with the Flaming Saddles? I knew the two were fucking connected. Because I was all, I don't see him buying this place, honestly.
Oh, it's too small. Because they have one in Hollywood that's massive.
Yes. So I was like, I don't see him buying this place. I'm like, I see him buying Flaming Saddles, but I don't see him buying here. But now the two stories together make sense. Yeah. She's like, I'm concerned because she's like, who's going to hire like a 50-year-old like Asian lesbian bartender? Like, this is like my home. Like, I came here because I love managing here and I love bartending here and I love my clientele.
Why can't she stay?
I'm going to guess that she's getting phased out, and that was her worry, because I woke up to a text from her today, and I'm going to go see her after we finish recording, after I do my schedule at work. She shot me a text saying, hi, love you. Tonight is my last solo shift at St. Felix. Hope you can make it and celebrate with me. Let's have a great night and party. And I said, I'm sorry, girl, what? She's like, I'm setting up the bar right now, but call me or just come see me tonight, and I'll give you the heads up.
What?
Right?
Story developing.
Yes. So I'll have a follow-up with this next week once I go see her later on tonight, once I'm done with my own work. But
so they're getting rid of people before he even buys it?
That was her concern. Because she's like, I feel like he's going to want a bunch of, like, hot buff guys and blah, 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 blah. And that's just not me. So...
First of all, we already have Lance Bass doing that.
Exactly.
Like, you don't need to be copycat.
At Rocco's and Hart.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to be copycat.
Yes. Leave my girl Marcia alone. She's like a WeHo Block, like, national treasure, and we all love her. So I will have more. Part 2 of the story will be on next week's podcast. Tune in.
Wow. Side eye to Adam Lambert.
Right?
I feel like I've defended him in the past. All these people we've defended in the past. Sam.
Right?
Brittany's husband.
Heather.
Who, by the way, is now apparently trying to get sympathy through the press that he has no job after divorcing Britney. What job did he have while he was married to Britney?
You had bit parts in random-ass movies, sir. Hell, she gave you a job. You guys met on her video shoot.
What a quick decline. I thought he was a trainer. I thought he was a...
Right.
I thought he worked at I thought he had a gym. All this shit.
Meanwhile, do you see her traipsing off to somewhere on a plane today? Looking like her old self again? She had a giant pillow with her, a pink cheetah skin purse, a trench coat, and she was going somewhere, as she should.
She got out with her gays. They got her right.
And now she's just been here, there, and everywhere. As she fucking should. Spend your money, girl. Just a mess. And her book comes out next month? No, 2 months. I will be listening.
She had better do the audiobook.
And he gets nothing of that $15 million book deal. Good for her. Get your money, girl. Get your money.
Oh, yeah, whatever happened with that? Did he successfully blackmail her or no?
No. They reneged and said that was never a thing. It was just a rumor, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure her lawyers were on that ass.
I'm sure. It's also very possible that TMZ was trying to stoke the fires.
Exactly.
By adding in the... allegedly.
You know how they do. Harvey Levin never come on the show.
No.
We rarely tell anyone not to, but Heather McDonald and Harvey Levin, you guys are never invited.
Harvey's a gay, too.
I know.
What is it with these evil gays?
Ugh, we're not all like that, guys.
No. No, even when we sell out, we will not be like that.
Exactly.
Wow, well, you know someone who was not evil and who always reminded you to spay and neuter your pets because he cared about animals.
Oh, man.
R.I.P. to the legend Bob Barker, who came as close to 100 as you can get without going over.
Exactly.
Who died at 99.
Yes.
Everyone's grandpa. I know this was kind of old news, but just had to segue a little bit because talk about old school personalities, knowing everybody, being kind. Although he would get very annoyed with contestants sometimes.
Yes, he would.
Because he really was trying to help them win money. And then they were very dumb. So he would get annoyed.
Yes.
But in a humorous and comical way. Oh, man.
And same day, I believe, Arlene Sorkin, the original voice and inspiration for Harley Quinn, died as well. If you don't know the story behind Harley Quinn, she was never in the comics. She was an original character for Batman the Animated Series way back in 1992 or 3. And Harley was she was the inspiration for Harley because the producers saw her in a play basically being Harley and decided to make her into a Batman villain. Her voice that you heard was actually her voice. It was not affected. It was literally how she sounds. And the whole character was modeled around her, and they got her to actually do the voice, which I think is great.
And she'd been around, oh my god, did she do like soap operas and shit? Like she'd been around for a while.
Yes.
Like talk about, legendary. And I love that the whole character was modeled after her and then they got her to actually do it.
Yes.
And of course, obviously the character
became larger than life. Yes.
Yeah, become legendary.
So rest in peace, you legends.
Oh yeah.
We will never die on y'all, don't worry.
No, we're going to live forever because we're AI.
Shut up.
Don't reveal our secrets.
We're going to edit out of the
show. It'll automatically be edited out. Oh, well, talk about editing.
Oh, God, what?
Thanks to the internet detectives who can take a Bad Bunny selfie.
Oh, yes.
Turn up the brightness level on the phone. I never even thought of this.
Oh, yes.
I know it's the easiest, simplest fucking hack you could possibly do.
Yes, I do it all the time.
But to brighten up this selfie that he did just so they could see
the base of his dick and his feet. Which,
feet.
Hey, I'm thankful for. I didn't have to do it.
Yeah. I didn't even think of it. I never thought of it. Never thought of it.
Oh, girl, you're behind me.
I am behind the times.
Yes, you are.
Really
yes, you are.
But good for them. I'm so thankful for you all. And all the work that you do. Not bad, but why doesn't he just release the dick pic?
Exactly. Just we've seen everybody else at this point. Just do it. Tired of all the teasing. Him and Charlie Puth. Just fucking show us the dick already. Just do it. Just do it.
Nobody cares.
It's 2023.
Nobody cares.
I can't.
I mean, we care.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see it, but like it's not going to impact you negatively.
Exactly. You know who also is not getting impacted negatively? And this is my last 2 notes of the show, by the way. I don't know if you have anything else after this.
Oh, I don't.
Oh. Beyonce and Taylor Swift are dominating everything in life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Beyonce, I think, is the highest grossing tour of this year. It's like $416 million or something astronomical like that.
Well, yeah, when you're selling the lowest rate tickets for $800,
yes.
Of course. Oh, you want to be on the floor? $4,000.
Yes. Oh my God!
Bitch, that's a down payment on a car.
Exactly.
That is not a...
No, I'll be damned. Sorry. No. But have you seen the Beehive getting pissed off at each other now? During the Energy performance, there's a line that says, "Everybody on mute," and everyone is expected to be quiet during that part until she starts singing again. Well, it's become a challenge amongst the Beehive. Everyone should be mute when Beyonce does that. And it's cute when they do, because you can see her smile when she's like getting like life out of it or whatever. But there are some members of the Hive that have been in the concerts where everyone's mute, and there's that one person that's like, "Wow!" And the latest one, someone's like, "What the fuck, you stupid bitch!" And Beyonce just starts giggling. You can tell she's trying not to laugh full out. There have been many of these where people will like turn around and like give like a side eye real quick. But yeah, the latest one person, wow, with at an entire stadium. Now here's, "What the fuck, you stupid bitch!"
What is up with people at... Look, I get it. You spent $4,000. You should be able to scream whatever the fuck you want to scream. But what is up with people at concerts who literally cannot behave themselves?
Thank you. It's a 3
rounds of cheese.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
They're screaming during the only part you're supposed to be quiet.
Yeah, literally. And that's a collective thing amongst the fans. So it's like, but just shut the fuck up and scream in 3 more seconds when she starts singing again.
Put
like,
your phone down.
Right.
And shut the fuck up.
Yes. Like, Jesus.
That actually leads to one of my last notes. Which is, did you see this crazed fan at the Adele concert?
Yes.
So Adele is doing this Vegas residency. Mm-hmm. It's a little smaller venue, and people are kind of dressing up a bit because it's Adele. I mean, she's going to sing, ballads, and she's going to be in a black dress the whole time. So
yeah.
But she has said very clearly, it is not a sit-down show. You can get up and move. I don't know that anyone's going to be jamming out to Chasing Pavements, but whatever.
But whatever.
Point is, you can get up. You can be out of your seat. You can dance around. You can, which it always is.
That's how a concert is.
At a concert, the singer comes out, the lead act comes out, the band comes out. Everyone, you all stand up.
Everyone gets crazy.
It's like when a judge comes into the courtroom.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, this guy, this crazed fan of hers, was not only out of his seat, but was moving a little close to the stage, and the whole time had his phone on a selfie stick.
Yes.
Recording himself flipping out at the concert. And multiple people behind him were bothered by this and upset by this, which it's like, you can stand up and you don't have to watch him.
Right? It's not a fucking ballet.
Right.
You're not at the theater.
And
she encourages you to do that.
Right. Like security kind of got involved, and finally that's where Adele got involved and was like, leave him alone. But I also kind of disagree because filming yourself with a selfie stick, go ape shit at a fucking Adele concert.
That I can get.
Bitch, that is stunt queen behavior.
That I can understand. You're filming yourself reacting to something. What?
I'm very torn because I do think you should go out and you should have fun, but that would fucking annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It really would.
That I can agree with.
I really would be, it would just be distracting.
Yeah.
Wherever I was.
Holding a phone, recording the concert, or taking a selfie, that's different situation. Enough. But, he did have a whole selfie stick recording himself.
having a meltdown, grabbing his heart and screaming and all this stuff. And it's like, first of all, I did not cut. This is why, look, I do stay home. So someone told me online, like, well, then you should stay home. I'm like, I do. And this is why.
You are anything
why.
else?
You are why. Because I paid to hear them sing.
Yeah.
Not some drunk bitch scream at the top of her lungs. Just because you know the lyrics doesn't mean I want to hear you perform. I did not pay to hear you perform.
Yeah.
I paid to hear them perform. Shut the fuck up. I'm a little torn on this one.
I can tell.
Like, I think we should have fun. But I also
But with
don't
limits.
think that you should create an entire spectacle
Yeah.
in and of yourself.
For an entire concert.
For the
One song, okay. If it's a song that like you have a personal attachment to and whatever, cool. But yeah, that I can see.
Also, what is up with, again, this stunt queen behavior of recording yourself having these flip outs and people crying?
TikTok and YouTube. Engagement. Clout.
You really film yourself crying. Probably several times. And then you edited that video, and then you posted that video?
Right.
No.
Yeah, child.
People need
I'm
to
just
stop.
too old.
People need to...
I'm too old for that.
Like, you know... I just feel like it's so performative,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes the joy out of it.
Yeah.
From my perspective.
Yes.
Because you're not actually there having a spontaneous moment where you... whatever.
And your friend happens to catch you or something.
Plan this shit out. I'm not going.
Well, speaking of planning.
I'm not going.
Well, speaking of planning, you know what wasn't planned? Was The Exorcist reboot. Moving back their release date by a week because Taylor Swift dropped the fact that she's dropping her Eras Tour film in AMC theaters the same day, second week of October. And it has already got $10 million in pre-sale tickets for her tour film.
Wow.
So these other movies are scrambling to move their shit so that they can get a profit.
Can you imagine that call? That panicked call? Wow. In other news, people now know about the Exorcist reboot.
True. See? I mean, hey, all good. Like, all news is good news, they say. That's all I got.
I know we're trying to be nice to everybody.
I've suffered enough. Please don't upset another fan base.
I don't want to. I just cannot imagine going to a movie theater to watch a concert video.
Same. HBO special, cool.
Yeah.
Like when Britney used to do that, that was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Janet, all that.
Yes, one night only. Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, this Saturday, boom.
Tuning in.
Yes, but to go to a movie, I'm like, what? Like a whole theater? Just, no.
Maybe I just don't like things enough. I don't.
Bitch, we're old now. Like,
but I never did.
I never did either.
I never
understood it.
They never got that whole stan culture. I never understood, like, losing your fucking mind because whatever. Like, I get excited about things. Yes. I want to see things. Like, I mean, I have an entire Wonder Woman treasure trove.
I'll scream into a woo!
But yeah. But
like, people at the fucking Beyonce concerts, like, filming themselves, like, in the corner doing all the choreography, like, while facing, like, back-facing her.
Right.
I'm just like, you paid all this money to watch her. You couldn't have done that at home and just, like...
Nope.
Like, you're missing the concert right now because you're filming yourself doing choreography at the concert. I don't get it, but whatever.
If that's how they want to spend their money and that's how they want to... As long as they're not in my way...
Very true.
...of seeing the show, I don't care.
Then it's fine.
But I find that just as annoying when people are trying to use their phone to take a whole... You're not the one releasing the movie.
Thank you.
Also,
it's not like...
you're never going to watch that again.
And it's unlike any clip that you wouldn't see on fucking Twitter anyways.
They're always so bad.
Oh my god. Oh wait, I lied. I do have one more.
It takes you out of the moment. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't understand anymore.
I can't. I do have one more. I totally forgot. Since we're on the topic of concerts. 50 Cent is about to have a hefty fucking lawsuit on his hand.
Why?
Because, we talked about all the fans throwing things on stage. Well, he's followed Cardi B's footsteps, and he threw a microphone at a fan. However, this fan was severely injured. Look at her face. And her forehead, where the microphone hit.
That is a third eye.
Right? It's a goddamn bullet wound.
He done gave her a third eye.
Whole ass rocket launcher to the forehead. Girl, sue the fuck out of him.
Turns out microphones really hurt.
He's horrible anyway. Sue the fuck out of him.
What did she even do?
I don't even know. I didn't care. I hate him anyways. Whatever she did, I'm on her side. I don't like that man. He's horrible. He's a piece of shit. But, Jesus, that's my face we're talking about, and I kind of enjoy my face being intact.
I will never forget. Okay, this goes back. Maybe we are just old and can't have fun anymore. But I remember, I'll never fucking forget this, though. I can be on my deathbed and remembering this. So, back when we used to have this thing called CDs.
Uh-huh.
They were physical material
yes.
discs that came in a plastic square casing. Well, I was out one night at a club, and they were throwing out T-shirts and CDs.
Oh, Jesus.
To the crowd from the stage. And not everyone was prepared for the onslaught of plastic ninja stars.
Right.
Fucking stage. And this bitch got hit right fucking
Oh my god. Why would you not just wrap the CDs in a t-shirt and then throw it that way so no one gets hurt? Why do we have so many fucking good ideas that can solve the world on this show?
Seriously. They were really winging those CDs out too. I could not help but laugh. Because they were not paying attention at all. They were turned, talking to their friend.
Just
like, not even. Just got one in the temple. Damn. That was some funny shit, though.
Hope she's okay.
Well, she should have sued.
I would have.
Wow.
I cannot.
50 Cent. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Right. Good. Piece of shit.
Why don't we like 50 Cent? I don't remember.
Oh, he's always beefing with other... It's always a woman.
Oh.
Always some other female entertainer he's always beefing with. Body-shaming people on his fucking Instagram. He's like an internet troll now.
He's too old for that.
Thank you.
We're talking about getting old. You're too old for that. Be more like Snoop Dogg.
Thank you. Exactly.
Who is just unintentionally great at everything.
Yes.
And has so much fun.
Yes.
Remember when he was doing that YouTube show where you just like watched him get high?
Yes, it was great. He gets back to... He still lives in Fontana, California. He coaches like high school football over there. He gives out to the community. Be more like Snoop Dogg, damn it.
For real.
Less like 50 Cent.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our sponsors and our show notes and save some money by using our coupon codes. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.